Sri Gurubhyo Namaha children, you are welcome for online class Sekaleva and 12th standard children, this is your 5th unit and a poem you are going to see today. And before starting a poem, I want to ask some motivational question to you. Children, who is your favorite in your family, whether your father or mother? Yeah, I know that mostly girls will say my dear fathers and boys will say mothers. And in rare cases they say both, but where the parents where they are not patting there, in that case if somebody is very strict in the family and children will not like them much, that is 100% will not be given to them and they will be going to the person who is patting. And mostly generally 80% girls will say that I like my father and boys will say that I like my mother. But whether you like or not, the parents' duty is to give you advice and suggestions at the right time. So it is their duty and it is their responsibility to grow you, and whether you are liking or not, it is their responsibility to teach you in the world how to face and how your life must be. So that is their responsibility, and most probably both will be advising. Now I think you understand what is the topic. Yeah, a poem by Carl August Sandburg, A Father to His Son. So a poem by Carl August Sandburg and a father to his son. So an advice given by a father to his son. So that is the poem you are going to see. And most probably children, what your father will advise you. So when you were in 12th standard, what your parents will be advising, this is not the age to beat you or scold you, and they will be telling you this is the path, if you doing this, you will be going this way or this way. So they will be telling positive and negatives to you and they will be guiding you. Whatever the suggestion you are taking, then it will be right, because you are in adolescent age, you know, sometimes you will be not accepting if it is given as an order. So your parents will be giving a suggestion. So here the father also giving an advice to the son, and that has been taken as a poem, and that only today we are going to see. We will see the poem, children. Okay. A father to his son, Carl August Sandburg. So you can see that it is a responsibility of both the parents, mother and father, and here the poet had taken the father's responsibility, and that is the poem. Father to his son, Carl August Sandburg. So you can see that how the father is just guiding you and he is just leading you. Yeah, a father to his son. See there, whenever he is walking, he just tells, not only the walking is teaching you, the way how you have to walk in the life, that also been taught by him. See, you will be learning from your father, from your dad, how you have to walk and how you have to face the world. So that is all very, very important, and you will be doing it. Okay. Children, we will see about the poet and about his history. Poetry is the opening and closing of a door, leaving those who look through to guess about what was seen during a moment. So a very good catchy word. Poetry is the opening and closing of a door, leaving those who look through to guess about what was seen during a moment. So here sometimes it is a door, the poetry is opening and closing of a door. It is a opening and closing of a door, leaving those who look through to guess about what was seen during a moment. See, it is all a poetic mind. It is an ordinary advice every day a father is giving to a son, but only a poetic mind can catch that and it will be making a poem. So here the poet, it is an normal thing happening in a life that father will be just advising to the son and supporting and motivating him. The same incident had been taken by the poet Carl August Sandburg, and he was just giving you the advice or a suggestion or how you have to lead a life. So that had been taken. He is a poet, and that moment had been taken as a great imagination, and with that he had just made the poem. So it is very clear to you children? Okay. Sandberg was born in Glasberg. So here he was born in Galsberg and Illinois to parents of Swedish ancestry. So he was born born in Galsberg and in the place called Illinois to the parents of Swedish ancestry. Gol Ax Sandberg was born on January 6th. He was born on January 6th, 1878, and he died on July 22nd, 1967. Was an American poet, writer and editor. He won 3 Pulitzer Prize, 2 for his poetry and 1 for his biography of Abraham Lincoln. So he got he won 3 Pulitzer Prize, 2 for his poetry. He had written poetry for 2 prizes for his poetry and 1 for his biography of Abraham Lincoln, the President of America. So it is very clear children, you know about the author. This is also not only the thing, and we have other thing also. During his lifetime, Sandberg was widely regarded as a major figure in contemporary literature. So here the Sandberg was well known in that place in this period, and it was contemporary literature, especially for volumes of his collected verse. He wrote volumes of collected verse and including Chicago poems in 1916. So in 1916 he had written lot of poems, and in Chungshire in 1918. So he wrote Chicago poems in 1916. It is a collection of verses, and Cornusser in 1918, and Smoke and Steel in 1920. So he wrote Smoke and Steel in 1920. He enjoyed universal appeal as a poet in his days, perhaps because the breadth of his experience connected him with so many strands of American life. So he was just leading American life, and most of them leads to that. So it was well known to everybody. So with so many strands of American life, and at his death in 1967, he died in 1967, President Lyndon B. Johnson observed that Carl Sandburg was more than a voice of America, more than the poet of its strength and genius. He was America. So here as an American poet, when he died in 1967, the President Lyndon B. Johnson had found out that he was a well-known American poet, and his poet was known as, and he was meant for America. America means the poet. They will be remembering the poet named Sandburg. So such a familiar person he was. It's clear children? Okay, so here we are going to see a father to his son. See the gist of the poem. So the father advises his son how we have to lead a life. So let us see the gist. The poem is a kind of a verse of worldly wisdom given by a father to a son. So a worldly wisdom will be given every way, every day. It is naturally happening in every family, in every person's, the father will be advising his son and daughter how he have to lead his life. Okay, that is, here an experienced father advises that a son should lead a good life. He must have enough energy and stamina to grapple with the hurdles in the life. The father's tension increases seeing his son at the threshold of mankind. It's a time when nearly each and every father become protective and cautious. You know children, when your child is very little, they will be buying biscuit and they will be saying you must not tell lie, like that. When they are growing, when at the manhood a boy reaches, it is the father's responsibility and duty that he must be advising his son to lead a good life, and how a son must be in this world, and how the world will cheat him, and how careful he must be and cautious he must be, and what are the morals he must have. This is all the teaching that father will be giving as an advice. So here the father is giving. So that is a gist. We will see the next. He tells his son to be hard like a rock. So he tells his son, you be like a rock. To face challenges, you must be like a rock. You see in a rock how hard it is. Like that you must be a rock to see the challenges. Then he does not like his son to have too much money. So here he tells, son, you don't have much money. If you have much money, you will be in trouble. So he advises that. Excessive money could destroy him. Excessive money, more money if person is having, he'll be spoiled totally. And more friends will be there and you will be just collapsed by the money. So he advises the son not to have excessive money. Money can harm him. Sometimes it will affect him also. Somebody he'll be totally spoiled by spending it in wrong way, or because he is having too much money, somebody will hurt him or kill him and something will happen to him. So having excessive money is not good. So the father advises him. He should learn from his mistakes and should never repeat them. So he must learn from his mistake. So if once you've done a mistake, you have to not repeat that. You have to regret and realize for it, and you have to remend yourself and reset yourself that hereafter that mistake must not be done by you. So such a realization must take place in one's life. So that he was telling in this poem. He should not be carried away by false praise by others. Sometimes somebody will be just giving you a false praise, and that must not be happen. So he says that. Solitude is creative. He wants him to be different from others. Solitude is creative. He wants him to be different from others. So solitude means he says that when you were all alone separately, so that will be very helpful to you, and you can think of yourself and you can mend and correct yourself, and lot of creative will be having. So loneliness is best thing he is telling, and he can realize and get corrected and more creative he will be having. He wants him to be different from others. He doesn't want to follow others, imitate others. He must be different, he was telling. Okay. So he advises him to read vastly books on Shakespeare, Wright brothers, Pasteur and Michael Faraday, and again knowledge. So the father advises him to read books. So vast books like Shakespeare's books and Wright brothers books, scientific books, and Pasteur and Michael Faraday, and gain knowledge. So he is telling, learn literature as well as scientific books so that you can gain your knowledge. So that was the advice given by the father. It is very clear, children. We can go for the next. Okay, so this is the line. This is a poetic line, first stanza. We'll go by line. First I'll read one stanza for you. A father sees his son nearing manhood. What shall he tell that son? Life is hard, be still, be a rock. And this might stand him for the storms and serve him for human drum monotony. So here he tells, this 5 lines tells you, this is the first stanza that tells you that the father sees his son nearing, the son is nearing the manhood. He had completed boyhood and he is nearing his manhood. The father got lot of confusion, lot of questions in his mind. How my son will be growing in this world? That was biggest pain in his heart. So he thought, let me give an advice, let me give a suggestion for my son, how he must be in this world. So he started, what shall he tell that son? So he was having lot of questions. What shall I tell my son? He is nearing his manhood. What can I do for him? So that was the question in his mind. And now life is hard. So he started telling his son, son, see that life is hard. It is so hard. Be still, be a rock. So sometimes when you are having failures in your life, you will be losing your life. Sometimes somebody will be thinking, why I have to live, something happened to me. So that must not be the the manhood, a boy who is reaching must not be have a thought. So the father is telling, in the world there will be lot of challenges you have to face. You must not ready to go with the failures. Always you challenge, you must be bold, and you must be like a steel and like a rock. So how rock is so strong and how the steel is so strong. The iron steel is very strong, like that a rock is strong. So you have to be like that, like a steel you have to bend and give. At the same time you must be like a rock, strong in your suggestions, advice, and whatever the goal you are having. You must have just facing the challenge and get the goal to be achieved. So that much strongness you must have. So that was he is giving advice. And this might stand him for the storms. Why he must be like a rock and steel? Because whatever the coming future will be just like a storm. It will be like a storm. Your life challenge will be like a storm. It will be coming, forcing you to push you, but you must be very strong enough like a rock and stand, and you must challenge the thing. So that must be your mindset. So that was he saying. And serve him for humdrum monotony. So what is that humdrum monotony? Children, what is humdrum monotony? What is humdrum monotony? What is this? Yeah. What do you mean by this? Daily routine in your life. Every day you are facing a challenge. From morning you get up till night you are going home to sleep. You have a lot of challenges to face. So to get first mark in the class as a student. So you as a manhood you will be going for college next year, and after finishing 12th standard, every day in your life you have to face all the challenges, to face all the challenges in the daily routine life. So humdrum monotony means, so nothing but boring routines. You are having boring routines, daily routines. You having monotony means boring, and routine you have. So it is very clear, children. So and serve him for boring routine. So here you have to be a strong like a rock and steel. You have to face the challenges. It will be coming like a storm in every day, boring life and daily routine you will be facing, and you will be challenging. So you understand this lines, children? So a father sees his son nearing manhood. What shall he tell that son? Life is hard, be steel, be a rock. And this might stand him for the storms and serve him for humdrum monotony means boring routine. So it is very clear, children. Shall we go to the next? So again, a father to his son, he is just giving an advice. And guide him among sudden betrayals, and tighten him for slack moments. Life is soft loam, be gentle, go easy, and this too might serve him. Brutes have been gentle where lashes failed. So here in the second stanza, it just gives you a lot of ideas. And guide him among a sudden betrayal. So here you will be having a sudden betrayal because he had been a boy and reaching the manhood, and he will be facing all the betrayals. So the world will be having all betrayals. What is betrayals, children? Betrayals. What is betrayals? So you will be, somebody will be cheating you in this world. So here you are new to this world, and worldly people will be very cunning, and you will not know the cunningness. So here he is telling that they will be betrayal you, they will be cheating you. So he is just guiding him. You must be suddenly cheated by you. You will be thinking they are best friends, but they will be doing all rubbish things with you, and at last what will be there? They will be just cheating you, and you will get caught. So father is saying that and guiding him among sudden betrayals. and tighten him. So he is tightening him, tighten him for slack movements. Sometimes he will be very lazy like that. So in the slack movements, he is tightening him. He must not be like this. So the father is tightening him in the slack movements. So when he is going wrong, so he is telling that this is not the right way, you must not do. So he is correcting there. Life is a soft loom, be gentle, go easy. So in one part he is telling that life will be a challenging like a storm, so you will be strong like a rock. In the second stanza he says, life is a soft loom, it will be a soft loom, it will be like a foams, and be gentle and go easy. You be gentle with them and go easy. And this too might serve him, this too also might serve him in the life. So your father advises, at the challenging time you must be like a rock and steel. At the time when your life is going very smoothly like a foam, like a gentle it is going, you also must be gentle. So suppose if he is meeting elder person, they are very gentle, he must know how to speak with the elders in a gentle way. So he teaches that also. And this is too might serve him, this also will be serving him. So once if you are so hard and strong like a rock, and if you happen to meet a gentle situation, you will not know how to meet. So it's telling that when son, you be very careful, when somebody is betraying, you be careful. At the same time when the storm is there, you see that storm is there, it is very clear that you must be very gentle and you must be good at that time, so that you will be meeting the gentle person in a gentle way. When the storm is there, you must be like a rock and steel. So he says, and this is too might serve him. Brutes. So what do you mean by brutes? Brutes means uneducated or a very rough person, or have been gentle. Even the brutes, brutes have become gentled, whereas lashes failed. So when brutes become even hard and harsh people, they become very gentle. When they become gentle, what fails? Where lashes failed. So when you are so hard in this world, you will be given lashes and you will be just treated. You know, even if you are taken as a servant or as a very rough people, they will be gentled. If they are gentle, the lashes been failed. So punishment is failed there, the lashes is failed. So when you are hard only, you will be punished. When you were hard person had been changed into soft, even what will happen? Lashes will be failed. That means punishment will be failed. Even sometimes great rough people, they will be just changing themselves into a soft gentle nature, then the punishment will be very less. So here the father teaches that also to the son. So how he must be when he was in the strong challenging time when a storm approaches, and how when the gentle thing is there he must be. So that also he teaches. We will see the next. So here he is calling his son. The growth of a frail flower in a path up has sometimes shattered and split a rock. A tough will count, so does desire, so does a rich soft wanting, without wanting nothing arrives. So here he says, the growth of the frail flower. What do you mean by frail flower? Okay, the growth of a frail flower in a path of has sometimes shattered and split a rock. So he is saying that a small plant which grows on the path, if it is in the rock is so strong, so what will happen? It will break the strongest rock. So he says that the growth of a frail flower in a path of a sometimes shattered and split a rock. So the plant which grows on the path, very small plant, that will be when we walk, it will be crushed. But the same plant is just grown in a rock, it will be just growing. The small plant only we will be thinking, its root all will expand and it will be just breaking such a strong rock, it will be just breaking. And a tough will counts, a tough will be counts. So does desire, so does a rich soft wanting, without rich wanting nothing arrives. So what he says is, a tough will must be there, a strong hope you must have. Tough will means a strong hope you must have, otherwise what will happen? So does desire, so does a rich soft wanting. So if you want more and it is a very rich one, and the wanting and wishing and willing in your mind will make the best. Without rich wanting nothing arrives, without rich wanting nothing arrives to you, nothing arrives to you. It's clear to you, children? Okay, so your humdrum monotony means boring routine. Soft looms means fertile soil. Lashes means whips. Okay, so life is hard. So life is like a hard, he is not saying. So life is hard. Be steel, be a rock, that is metaphor. And this too might serve him is also metaphor. And this might stand him for the storm will be metaphor. The growth of a frail flower in a path you is a metaphor. Life is a soft loam, be gentle, go easy, that is also metaphor. So imagery or 3, life is hard, be steel, be rock. So does a rich soft wanting, life is soft loom, be a gentle, go easy. This is imagery. So alliteration, you know, children, you will be finding out. So here stand and storm, frail flaw, and shattered split, and does desire. Okay, children, we have completed the first part. We'll be seeing you in the next part, children. Until then, thank you.